Guys, give it. I'm sorry, that's a weird intro, but I couldn't think of anything. Guys, give it up. Let's keep the energy going. Keep it going. Give it up for Nicole Blessing, everybody. Nicole Blessing.
Well, recently I was hanging out with some Gen Zers, because I'm kind of hip like that, and they were telling me that they just don't go out and see where the night takes them. They have to have definite plans. They'll play some, they'll go on Tinder, and if they don't have a date, they'll play some Xbox or do some self-improvement. And according to them, this makes them woke. I disagree. It makes them like me, a true Minnesotan. Our way of life is propagated across the country. When it's January and 30 below, nobody is going to a bar for the heck of it. You look at each date and you think, is it worth it? Is he parka worthy? It's also a myth that everybody from Minnesota sounds like people from Fargo. Or is it? When I lived in Minneapolis, I was a model on a home shopping network, on live television, where anything can happen. A host can say, "Mama loves a strap-on," be talking about luggage. Wrinkle Magic models can have a pre-show prayer circle. I was a half-tan model. I would come out and the host would say, if it weren't for that one tan arm and one tan leg, we wouldn't even be able to see Nicole. Yeah, since moving here, people do like to point out how white I am. Like I don't know. Like millions of self-tanning enthusiasts don't know. They're like, oh my God, you are so white. Are you like that all the time? No. The sun and hot yoga have shown me I can also be extremely red. But I did eat some pineapple today to stay my whitest. You would be surprised how many people believe that. But if you're like me or you have a very dark complexion, you share a common problem. The agonizing effort it takes to find the right foundation match. I'll be in Sephora, they're trying to help me, still stunned someone as white as me exists, and I'll look over and I see my skin tone opposite having the exact same experience, and we share a moment, an understanding. We're like bookends of a Michael Jackson career retrospective. We are foundation sisters for life. I am trying to adjust more to the traffic. I mean, it's awful, right? Everybody hates it. On the way here, I was behind a woman in a truck whose license plate holder said, "My other ride is my husband." You just know that is one repressed million mom evangelical right there. Being liberal, I can't objectify my husband like that. He is more than a ride. He is a ride that keeps our Wi-Fi going. As long as I live here, though, I do not think I will ever get used to the cult of raw veganism. I am pescatarian, pretentious for I'll eat fish. As a recovering Catholic, you cannot convince me that fish is meat. Otherwise, my entire childhood is just a house of cards. Yeah. But, they want to spread this message that raw vegetables contain this vital life energy. Like what? Like the Force? We don't even talk about midichlorians anymore. If that is what is in those raw vegetables, they would convert so many more people. They're so self-righteous that somehow cooking something won't allow it to detoxify you. What does that even mean? What are these toxins? Why are they bad for you? I don't know. They just take all that on faith. I will keep my toxins, Gwyneth, if it means I can continue to eat real nachos. You know, for the raw vegan, the hard drugs are like cocaine, heroin, Gouda. They like to tell you about this euphoria they feel. It's really their brain screaming, help me, as it slowly dies. I don't get back to Minnesota very often, but there are so many more ways to keep in touch now. You know, there's Skype, Portal, Facebook, because my dad refuses to leave it. But I am having this love-hate relationship with the Facebook algorithm. It keeps giving me friend suggestions of guys I've dated. Unpleasant, yes, but then I get to see how many bullets I've dodged. Okay, hear me out. One guy I dated in college named his kid Beckett. That poor kid. Think about it. Nobody wants to scream Beckett during sex. You're basically invoking the father of existential dread. And for what? To be like, yeah, I read Waiting for Godot. But the true low-hanging fruit of intellectual elitism is naming your kid Schrodinger. Karen, did you put Schrodinger to bed? Yes and no. I mean, we've all seen Good Omens by now, right? Yeah? If not, you should go home and watch it, and you'll want to hug Michael Sheen. But if you want to name your kid something really, really pretentious, there is a lack of girls named Anathema Device. It's true. When I do get back to visit my dad in Minneapolis, it is like traveling back in time. He has a landline, and I am still not allowed to borrow the car. This last time, I decided to only jump back 10 years, start playing Words with Friends again. You know, you have this like messaging app in there that I thought could be used for things like great triple word score on teasel. It's a Eurasian plant with purple flowers. That is what an expensive private education will get you. And you get a profile picture. And I started getting a ton of game requests. And I was like, wow, the English language isn't dead. Then the messages started. Are you married? Are you happily married? What? Well, if you're not down to fuck, what are you doing here? Playing Scrabble? When did Words with Friends become a hookup app? I mean, was there some Reddit Q&A that I missed? I had to change my profile picture to one of my nieces, and then it all stopped because I became too complicated. Like all Midwesterners, my family wields guilt as a weapon. They like to make me feel guilty for not coming home for Christmas every year. But you know, Christmas has become like the HPV of holidays. There is no escaping it. It starts in July. Those Christmas in July sales emails. You know, they're like my heroin. They're bad, I know. But I wake up from this blackout and I have these new Katy Perry shoes. But they are super cute. You know, and then Hallmark, they have to get in on the action too. Not only are they sending out these limited edition Christmas ornament emails, they are making you question your relationship. Because everything in the Hallmark world works out 2 weeks max. There is a guy on horseback waiting to propose, and no one, I mean no one, ever gets a yeast infection. Hallmark is so insidious that since I went back to being blonde, I found out I'm the main character in one of their plot lines. Now I have to move to a small town and open a candy store or something. I mean, by the time Halloween rolls around, Target Dog, he's lurking around the corner with his unrealistic family. Although, the passive-aggressive reality that many of us face would be the worst commercial ever. Please pass the yams, and Mom was going to teach me how to drive, but then you were born. But there was one brief, glorious Christmas moment where I had convinced my sister that yippee-ki-yay motherfucker was the traditional LA holiday greeting. She wasn't even drunk yet. Yes, my sister is just a little bit naive. Yeah, but she is really busy being basically the Tony Soprano of the West Des Moines mommy mafia. You know, she controls the church moms, scout moms, preschool moms, soccer moms, dance moms, gymnastics moms, you know, and they be bitches. To be a maid mommy in Iowa, you've got to have 2 kids and at least 4 activities. Okay? It can be church, sports, dance, 4-H. Yeah, 4-H. Because it's Iowa. You know, my sister, she has this huge house. It takes up almost an entire city block, you know, and she built a giant fence around it. And one of the gymnastics moms says to her, "Why did you ruin your house with such a large fence?" And my sister looks at her and she says, "Shh, don't worry about it." Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much. You've been so lovely.